Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Dan, aka A-Drive. I'm bringing you guys some Pokemon Sun and Moon news, information, leaks, theories, discussions, everything in between. I'm really excited about this video. We're going to be talking about some of the main leaks that have come onto the internet over the last few months for Pokemon Sun and Moon, whether they're true, what's true about them, what they got wrong, and so on and so forth. I actually was able to dig up this post here on Reddit, which actually linked back to 4chan, so props to the original user who put this together. I'm sorry I don't have the reference for it. I wasn't able to find it, but I know this was posted by various different people, and then this dude kind of just put it all together, so shouts to that. But I will try to link the original post of Reddit where I found it. Obviously, everything in this video is speculation. There's a lot of this that is true, though, so that's where this discussion comes in, and I open up my comment section to you guys to discuss these topics, to talk about whether you think these leaks are true, what your expectations are for Pokemon Sun and Moon regarding these leaks, the 4 relevant leaks as we're talking about here, and it's gonna be a lot of fun, man, because I'm so excited for Sun and Moon. I'm really hyped for a new Pokemon game, and these leaks get me hyped to even more because it's so fun to speculate and think about what could happen and what's gonna happen and so on and so forth. And again, just another disclaimer, guys, there is a lot of information here that is true. Some of it may not be true, but that's what we're going to discuss right now. So you guys can make that decision just like I'm going to make the decision of whether you believe it or not. I feel like we're in Ripley's right now. So let's kind of jump right into things here. The first of these are the concept art leaks, right? So this is the 3 starter evolutions. And before I go any further here, I do want to mention that we do know that Rockruff shares a secret with the starter Pokemon. And now that we know that Rockruff's evolution is version exclusive based on Sun or Moon, whether you're going to get Lycanroc as the midday form or the midnight form, we can actually make some speculations here that the starter evolutions are also going to have split forms based on whether you're playing through Pokemon Sun or Pokemon Moon. Now, I'm going to theorize, and I did in a previous video, that the starters we're looking at here are actually the Moon starters, but let's talk a little bit about them. So these concept arts leaked on the internet a long time ago. I guess they were posted on June 4th, so quite a few months ago. And a lot of people kind of dismissed these pretty quickly, but the big thing that kind of gave them credibility was the fact that Mallow, which is one of the characters in Sun and Moon, I believe she's a trial captain, she was officially shown in the August 1st trailer, and you can actually see her right here under my mouse, I believe. Yeah, you can see her right under my mouse here. She's actually sitting next to Ash, who's got Pikachu, and further information about the anime that recently came out about a week ago actually shows Ash and Pikachu in a similar art style, and I think the hat is pretty similar and stuff like that. So that gave a lot of credibility to these leaks, which all kind of came together. And this is very similar to what I think we've seen in the past from Pokemon and Game Freak in terms of their concept arts and drawings and things like that. But having this character here, and I've heard people dismiss this by saying, that's not the same character, it's just a generic Alola girl or whatever. I don't know, man, the flower's in the same spot, she's got the same hair, she's sitting right there. The anime poster does show her as being a character in the anime, very close to Ash, it seems like. So there's a lot of reason to believe that these 3 starter evolutions are legitimate. I'm actually, again, theorizing that these are going to be the Pokemon Moon starter evolution. So you've got your Litten evolution here, which looks like it could be a dark type, fire dark, or possibly even fire fighting. It's based on a wrestler. The next one is, of course, Poplio's evolution, which is kind of like a siren, which is, again, why I'm thinking it's going to be the Moon version. Looks a bit like a mermaid, looks really cool, very plausible design, and I think a lot of people's favorite one, or my personal favorite one at least, is Rowlet's evolution, which is like the Archer Owl. Definitely has that nighttime vibe. You heard me cover that I think Rowlet's gonna have a burrowing owl evolution for the daytime and stuff like that in a different video, so definitely check that out. I'll put that in the description. But again, this was the leak, and again, the things it got right was the girl sitting next to Ash on Tiger Shade 3 was Mallow. Hasn't gotten anything wrong so far, so we do believe this leak to be true so far. It would be very like coincidental for these to for this character to show up in this picture and then not have these be true. But things do change, right? Now we've got the Chinese leak here, and this actually originally came out in, I believe, Chinese. It was picked up on a Hong Kong by a Hong Kong VGC player, I guess. He was the original one to kind of translate it and bring this to light. It was posted and made public in July 8th, but I think it was posted a few weeks prior, as it says here. So let's go through this. It says there's going to be no gyms. So we have pretty solid proof that there's no gyms, as we have the trials. The trial captain then said, says the Alola region has no league. Your objective is to build a league. After you finish building a league, the Elite Four will appear. The Elite Four will be like the owners of each island. So very, very interesting note there. We have no information regarding that, but that'd be really, really cool to build the league. I don't really know what that means. Again, these are translations, but the starter's final form will be an archer, a wrestler, and a siren. So this does correspond to the previous leak, of course. Collect logo diamonds like Mega Stones, but a bit different. I said that's so weird. Logo diamonds cause Pokemon to transform shape like Ash's Greninja. So these are the Z crystals, and we originally thought that Z crystals were just these super powerful attacks like we saw with Stoked Surfer from Alolan Raichu. We saw Pulverizing Pancake. I might be messing up these names for Snorlax, but then we see Eevee's Z move, and it actually is a move that boosts up Eevee's stats. So that really opens the door for Z crystals to do more than just be offensive moves. And one of the things I was thinking about last night actually is, what if Z crystals, because we haven't heard anything about Mega Evolution yet, what if Z crystals can double as almost a Mega Evolution like item, and giving, you know, let's say Alakazam and Alakazam Z crystal turns it into the Mega Alakazam form in the same way as, you know, whatever else. I don't know if they're gonna do that to try to balance out Mega Evolutions, whether Mega Evolutions are gonna come back in their full force. I've always thought they were gonna come back in post game, but now that you read this, it's very interesting to note that Pokemon, apparently according to this, can change shape through the Z crystals. So we saw the Eevee, maybe they're just teasing us. Maybe Z crystals can go to the next level for certain Pokemon and actually change their form, like an Ash's Greninja perhaps. There'll be a new Dolphin, Snowman, Sea Cucumber, and Rockruff evolves into a werewolf. So Rockruff does evolve into a werewolf. Obviously, Lycanroc at nighttime is a werewolf. There's a new Dolphin, Snowman, and Sea Cucumber. Sea Cucumber, Pyukumuku. We have not seen a Dolphin Pokemon yet, and we have not seen a Snowman Pokemon yet, but we have reason to believe that those are going to be, potential Pokemon in the future. Marshadow has a very unique typing. So I believe we've actually heard a lot of rumors about Marshadow having different typings and things like that. And if you don't know what Marshadow is, there's a typo there, but if you don't know what Marshadow is, it was actually a copywritten name, as far as I know, by Pokemon, similarly to how Lunala and Solgaleo, I always say its name wrong, were actually, copyright. Obviously, they copyright the names for the box art. So people are theorizing that Marshadow is going to be the third legendary that kind of ties the three together. So here's some other things here. So these are the translations too. So this is Cresselia's translation, and this is level 51's translation of this. So they both have a translation. So level 51, and this was before, so this is where it gets really interesting, right? The red part is there's a fire and poison Pokemon. Salandit, right? So we already know Salandit, or however you say it, is out. That's a legitimate Pokemon with corrosion, so that refers to Salandit. So the red part is the new fire poison. So this predicted Salandit before it came out. The stone dog will evolve into a werewolf, so Rockruff evolving into a werewolf. There's a new mushroom Pokemon, Morlul, which we already know. Morlul's already here. These guys are awesome. They put the pictures there and everything. We know there's a new mushroom Pokemon, Morlul. Now, I know that's just they could have guessed that, but nevertheless, it came true. There's a snowman Pokemon. We don't know anything about a snowman Pokemon yet, but nevertheless. There's our football monkey. I translated to rugby monkey. Football monkey. Passimian. It was just released yesterday. So there's some more confirmation there. This was predicted on July 8th. So very, very interesting stuff there. They predicted the Passimian, the football monkey. How do you predict that, dude? And predicting Pyukumuku, the sea cucumber, and Morlul. So very interesting stuff there. There's a sea cucumber Pokemon. It says something that my Chinese is not very good. The trademark name Marshadow is a mythical Pokemon with a unique typing. There's many unmarked locations of the map which forms districts. These districts contain very strong Pokemon known as Overlords, which we already know is true. We have Totem Pokemon, so that's just a translation thing there. The Royal Three are what we call the starters, essentially. They have Arrow something, Breaking something hand, and Siren something. So Archer, Wrestler, and Siren. So again, this is a leak that came out, we're talking in July, and a lot of this information is now coming to fruition, coming true. We know it's true now. Football monkey, if that's not enough for you, fire poison type, the stone dog evolving into a werewolf. Now you could have guessed that, but nevertheless, the mushroom, the sea cucumber. I mean, these are really specific statements here in these leaks, And there's a few things that haven't come true, right? Like the snowman. So this is already covered here, but Salandit species and typing, got it. Alola region not having gyms, got it. The districts with the strong overlord Pokemon, again, totem Pokemon. So it's a little bit different. Pyukumuku, the sea cucumber. Morlul, the mushroom Pokemon. Logo diamonds, like the Z crystals. So we don't really know whether there's transformation yet, but we can theorize. Rockruff evolving into a werewolf, so Lugarugan, we know that, or Lycanroc. Rugby monkey, or the football monkey, is Passimian. So things it kind of got right is it talks about the riding system that will let you ride basically all Pokemon. So this talked about the Pokeride before it even came out. Pokeride obviously is confirmed, but basically all Pokemon, I mean, obviously we don't know, but it hasn't gotten anything wrong so far. So I think you can pretty much expect this snowman Pokemon to show up, which is very, very interesting. And then this whole idea here is very, very interesting about Pokemon being able to transform shape. It's possible that this leaker, whoever he is or whoever they are, if they worked within the Nintendo company or Game Freak or whatever developing this game, they may have seen some Z moves and Z crystals and Z Pokemon that haven't been revealed to us yet that do change form. So very, very plausible there. Split Evo Leak, myth busted. We know this is wrong, so we're not even gonna cover it. So it's on here, but we're not even gonna cover it. Now we have the real leaks leaks. So this is pretty interesting. This was posted on July 15th, so it says there's no gyms. More than one evolution for Rockruff, including a werewolf. This was posted on July 15th. We got 2 evolutions for Rockruff, so that's pretty interesting there. Young Goose's evolution is fat and hairy. Well, it's not really fat and hairy, but it's bigger. Obviously, talking about gumshoes. We've got time works differently in each version. Totally right. We know that Moon is actually set 12 hours ahead of Pokemon Sun, so very, very cool there. New forms for old Pokemon, not Megas, think Shellos and Werbidam. Those are the Alolan forms. Pokemon transferred from the Virtual Console release will have pre-Gen 6 typings and stats. Not really sure about that, to be honest. A little bit confusing there, but nevertheless. The Stone Bracelet has nothing to do with Synchro Evolution. It's for Z moves. Ash's Greninja is in the game, so perhaps Greninja gets its own Z Crystal, and it can turn into Ash's Greninja and gets boosted stats or something. The SS Ant appears in the game. Larger but not by much amount of brand new Pokemon than the last gen. Looker, Cynthia, Blue, Zinnia, AZ, and Lance all make appearances. Could this be the opportunity to essentially tie in AZ's Floette? Will he have an importance in the storyline? I mean, really cool to hear that Lance is going to make an appearance. I mean, they're really tying this stuff in. Furfur's haircut can be changed in the new Ami. So we just had released yesterday, Pokemon Ami is now going to be, what was it called? I can't even remember what it's called right now, but you could like blow dry your Pokemon's hair. You can cure poison and paralysis off your Pokemon. So many different things you can do. And now it looks like you can change Furfur's haircut in the new Ami. Pokemon Refresh, that's what it's called. So very interesting stuff there. This also says some of the new forms for old Pokemon get new animations. Transferring through Bank will be the only way to get some forms of old Pokemon. There's a flying bird Pokemon whose appearance varies by island. Oricorio. This was before Oricorio was announced. So, and I apologize, there are some inappropriate language on this, but I can't control that. So I do try to keep my channel family friendly, but I just won't be saying it myself. But this predicted Oricorio before release. There's a 2-stage cat Pokemon that is normal when captured in the wild, but will inherit the father's primary type as its second type when hatched. The color pattern varies by type. Think Vivian. Very likely that that's a thing, honestly. We haven't heard anything about a 2-stage cat Pokemon yet, but totally possible. And the snowman from the Chinese leaks is real, Ice and Ghost 2-stage. So this again confirming that the snowman is going to be real. Now, I would say this leak does have a few things on it that could just be straight up guesses, but there's some things here that really tie things together. So Butterfree, Bug Psychic, Rattata is dark. Now these things could have changed, but we know the Rattata line does become dark and normal. Nidoking and Nidoqueen apparently are getting Alolan forms Poison Fighting. Ninetales, Fire Fairy. That's wrong. It actually is Ice Fairy. Growlithe is going to be water. Abra is going to be fighting. Doduo is going to be fighting flying. And then there's a little teaser here that says, beware of fake leaks. Mimikyu, like most Pika clones, keeps its Japanese name, and that is exactly the case. Mimikyu does keep its Japanese name. It was officially announced that its name in English is Mimikyu, and there is the little hint right there. Beware, calling the name of the Pokemon Beware prior to it being released, as far as I know. So there's my hint. I'm not going to say the exact name to avoid compromising my sources. A lot of people people will be disappointed though. So things that got right: no gyms, new forms for old Pokemon, new form for Ninetales, flying type Pokemon, which is Oricorio, the names of Mimikyu and Beware, which were revealed 4 days early by this person. Very interesting to nail those names on the dot. I mean, I don't know, pretty interesting stuff. New form for Rattata, it did call that, although it didn't get the typing nailed down. It said it was dark type. It ends up being dark normal, but that could just be like, hey, it's dark type, like, you know what I mean? Time works differently in version. That is totally confirmed. It was confirmed on September 6th, and there are more than one Evo for Rockruff, one being a werewolf. Again, nailed it right there. So things that kind of got right: Young Goose evolution being fat and hairy. It's hairy, but whether it's fat or not is arguable. I agree with that. And then things that got wrong: Ninetales' typing is actually Ice and Fairy, not Fire and Fairy. Could be a mistake. Maybe the person saw it and they didn't realize that it was Ice type. They just thought that the reason why it was like kind of bluish white was because it was just Fairy. But Arcanine does receive a new form. That's kind of wrong because we've seen Arcanine in Alola in its old form. Now, does that totally debunk the fact that you can't get Alolan Arcanine? No, maybe there is still an Alolan Arcanine, but it does seem unlikely at this point. Rattata's old form, obviously dark normal instead of just dark. And then the Abra line receiving a new animation or a new form. We did see a regular Alakazam on September 6th in the Japanese trailer, so perhaps debunking that as well. But again, it's possible. We saw just to kind of throw this out there, at the very beginning of the game, and there is a reason for this, but at the one of the first trailers, you actually see a Meowth in your house in one of the first trailers, but then Alolan Meowth was revealed down the road, and it obviously looks differently. So it is possible that there's both regular and Alolan forms integrated into the game. I don't know. I'm not sure, but definitely interesting stuff there. And then this is the Team Skull leak that came out August 11th. This person says, I don't consider myself a leaker, but I got information that her mother is researching a new type of Pokemon that comes from another universe through a wormhole or something. And there's this fight with the boss level alien Pokemon, and we'll reveal that Solgaleo and Lunala have a common pre-evolution. All crazy stuff, but trust me, I don't want any trouble. Just find this post after game release. This homie predicted the Ultra Beasts prior to release. Very interesting. I mean, if you told me that, if I read this post on August 11th saying, hey, there's gonna be some Pokemon that come from another universe through a wormhole and you fight this boss level alien, I'd be like, dude, I don't know what you're drinking, what you're having for dinner. I don't know what you're doing, bro, but that sounds absolutely far-fetched. But here we are with Ultra Beasts, confirmed. These alien Pokemon that come from these wormholes from seemingly another universe. Very interesting stuff. This does say that the things that got right, Lusamine appears to be Lily's mother. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I kind of looked at them as being siblings, but I guess it is possible that Lusamine could be Lily's mother. I don't know. I mean, Lusamine does look pretty young, but I mean, I don't know. The president of the Ether Foundation. This foundation conducts research on Ultimate Beast. We know that. Is it actually confirmed that it's her mother? I don't think it's confirmed. I think people are speculating. Ultimate Beasts are highly unusual Pokemon, like creatures which have been arriving through wormholes again. And then we saw Beauty and Expansion Ultra Beasts have been seen fighting a seemingly winning battle against Tapu Koko, the legendary guardian of Melee Island. This implies the protagonist will have to step in and fight it himself after Tapu Koko jobs. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what warp effect is. Maybe that's a reference to what happens there, but nevertheless, so it hasn't gotten anything wrong yet. So very, very interesting here that this person was able to predict the Ultra Beast, potentially Solgaleo and Lunala having a common pre-evolution. That is crazy, man. Could be true. Some of the other stuff in here that is very interesting is some of these Alolan predictions, Butterfree, whether that's going to be the case. We actually saw Butterfree too. That didn't say it here, but Butterfree was in one of the official art releases as regular Butterfree, not Alolan Butterfree. So again, that could debunk that, but there are some things here that have been confirmed true. But as always, guys, with any of these leaks, you do have to take them with a grain of salt. You can't believe everything you read on the internet, as right now, especially, people are posting leaks left and right, trying to get attention, trying to get, you know, people to read their posts, trying to troll, whatever it may be. But these here that have been compiled again, and thank you to, if you're watching this, thank you so much for compiling this list. Made things really awesome and really organized for both me and everyone else watching this. But, you know, I don't think it gives a reference of who it was. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is, I feel like you can't just throw random things out there and get this stuff right, so it does lead me to believe that a lot of this information could very well be true, especially when it comes to the snowman, especially when it comes to the starter evolutions, potentially looking like this. Now that we know Rockruff has that split evolution based on Sun and Moon, they share a secret, this could be it. The Pokemon could have different evolutions based on what game you're playing. We've also got some information about the Z Crystals, potentially doing more than just being offensive moves. Could the Z Crystals change the form of Pokemon? Could they actually do what Mega Evolution does in a unique way as well, but a way to integrate it so every Pokemon can use it, right? Because we know Z Crystals can be used by any Pokemon, but there's other Pokemon who get special Z Crystals too, so very interesting stuff there. And again, we did talk a bit about some of these Alolan forms, things like that, so I don't know, man, some pretty crazy stuff to think about, guys, and I did just talk your ears off for about 20 minutes, so I hope you guys did enjoy. I really wanted to cover this, man, because again, a lot of this stuff does seem to have some relevance, as this says here, and does seem to be pretty legit. So let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on all this stuff. If you guys are new, definitely subscribe, as I post multiple Pokemon videos every single day, including shiny hunting, Let's Plays, and more. I'm so excited for Sun and Moon coming up in less than 2 months, guys. It is going to be so much fun to play a new journey and start a new adventure together, and we get to do it together. That's the best part. I'm so hyped, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Subscribe if you're new, drop a like if you enjoyed. Let me know in the comment section below if you think this stuff is crazy or you think it's true, and that's going to be it for me, guys. My name is Dan. I'll also go by A-Drive, and I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.